good to go.
Huh?
It's the starting noise of the first episode.
No, I mean, when you plan something for so long and then here we are, I don't even know. Now we're just like stuck. Now we're just staring at each other like, what are we going to talk about?
I was thinking about that. I'm on the drive over. I'm like,
I've
been waiting so long for this first moment of sitting down talking with you, and now that it's here, I'm just like,
hello. I don't know. It is. I mean, it is what it is. You know, weird times we're living in, and then here we are still doing this. It's a way to connect.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're definitely figuring out a way throughout all what is going on to still reach not only each other, but the masses, you know, from your audience to my audience. So,
you know what's crazy is I think podcasting is the one thing that bridges all the generations, as opposed to like TikTok is specifically for certain age group.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
it's most.
Or like Coachella and TikTok. You can age out of that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'll maybe be like 60 or 70 at Coachella.
That you're going to be that guy that people are going to be like, why is that weirdo here? You know?
But then I'm going to be dressed better than all of them, raging harder than all of them. So they're going to be like, we look up to this guy.
You always, you know, I saw you in Vegas one time. You were at that EDM.
EDC.
Oh, is that what it's called?
EDC, yeah.
What does that stand for?
Electric Daisy Carnival.
Electric Daisy Carnival?
Yeah. Or like, I'm pretty sure it's that, yeah.
Yeah, you were always at that kind of stuff. Just
yeah, I still go.
Crazy.
I love it, man. I love colors. So that's the thing. That's like my moment to like just wear anything and like.
But what is that about? I don't understand. Like, that's one of those things where I see that kind of stuff going on and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Even Coachella. Like, I have never gone to Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Coachella started, I was already at that age where it would look creepy to be at Coachella.
Okay.
How long is Coachella?
I think it's like 15 years, 10 years.
Yeah. See, you need to have a computer over there when we ask you
It's
freaking questions.
It's running my damn.
It's running the thing.
I got a phone.
Yeah. Okay. That's our producer over there.
There we go.
Lame. Producer.
Yeah. So that's what you're supposed to be. Yeah. We got to be like, hey, what was the name of such and such? And you got to have it on the fly, man. First
Damn
episode,
it.
already slipping. But yeah, well, I don't know. That's one of those things that I don't know what it's about. Yeah. Because I know it's about the EDM, but EDM is the music, right?
EDM is it's a genre of music, yeah.
And that's
it's
what
electric
they play.
dance music.
Okay,
yeah.
electric dance music, and that's what they play at the EDC.
Yeah, there's a lot of different subgenres of EDM that are played at EDC and different festivals like EDC. For me, the overall point of why I go to these types of festivals, especially ones like EDC, where it's more sound-based versus lyric-based, because Coachella, you're going to get artists who a lot of them are speaking English, for instance. A lot of English-speaking artists who, like, if you don't speak that language, it might be a little bit of a disconnect to go. It's harder to go. But for EDC, the reason why whenever I go to EDC or things like that, and I'm seeing so many, like, diversity of so much, is because a lot of the music that they're playing has no lyrics in it. It's universally accepted, you know, music where everyone can, a drop is a drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. Like, here we go. I mean, technically that was English. I just said here we go. But you know what I mean? Like, the overall feeling is universal.
Really?
You know, and I've never seen more of a diverse crowd.
Than at EDC?
Yeah, diverse, is that a word? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A diverse crowd.
A diverse crowd than at EDC. Yeah.
Really?
Because I go to Coachella, it's like Instagram made a festival, and
that's
it's
what I'm
like
saying.
if Instagram was a planet, it would be Coachella.
Yeah, it seems like Coachella has turned
Coachella's
into
fun, but I like Stagecoach more.
Stagecoach. Okay, that's more
Country.
Oh,
But
really?
then that's just biased because I'm from Virginia, so I'm biased in that aspect. And it's made by Coachella. It's at the Coachella grounds a week after Coachella week 2.
Oh, it's kind of like how Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken are owned by the same company.
It's a good way to put it, yeah.
And you wouldn't know. You'd be like, I would never go to Taco Bell. You know, they're just like, well, that's Kentucky Fried Chicken. So you go to.
I actually didn't know that.
I didn't know you were into country music.
Super into country music.
Really?
I went to a lot of country concerts growing up. A lot of them.
Do your fans know you're into country music? Is that something you like want out there in the world?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't want it out there. I don't mind it. The thing is, like I said, like I'm from Virginia. I grew up listening to a lot of country music. And I went to a lot of country concerts, and I don't mind. I mean, people know I've gone to Stagecoach.
Yeah, but how is that? How is it that you listen to a lot of country music, even being from Virginia? Because your family's like you know, like you're one of these weird like unicorn types that like people wouldn't really know.
Is Colombian?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
you don't look, so like, what
You
was
wouldn't
your,
look at me and be like,
and-
oh, Colombian kid.
and when I
Yeah.
met your parents, I thought to myself like, oh, it would like rock my world. I was like, just because, you just look like a LA white kid.
Yeah, for lack of better terms, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then people just don't even know about there's a little spice in there.
Always a little spice. I feel like that's always where I get a little fiery from my
Yeah.
dad's side, a little
Yeah, yeah,
spice. And
yeah.
I love it, man. I was actually thinking about that like a couple months ago, like of how grateful I am to have that side of that heritage built within me. Like whenever I go and visit family in Colombia, like I have more family in Colombia than I have in the United States. Like extended family.
Right.
And that to me is
Well, they're Latino, so.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like from my mom's side, for instance, like I have more from my dad's side than my mom's side because my mom is from Pennsylvania. So like, it's just I'm very grateful to have that side.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always wonder like, what do we have in common?
Mm-hmm.
And I realize that's probably one of the things we have in common is just being mixed race.
Mm-hmm.
But
What are you mixed with?
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? People always, I always say people want to know what you are so they can know how to hate you.
That's a good way to put it.
So
Not for me. I love you.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying it's I guess whatever. I don't actually even know the full extent of all my mix.
Same here.
You know what I mean?
I just know my dad was born in Colombia, and then
came
to America. That's all I
Well,
know.
it's good because you have a great family. You have one of those like all American families. It's like mom and dad. You like actually your family was like I Love Lucy. You had Ricky and Lucy. Oh, you've never seen I Love Lucy? Oh my God!
I've heard of it.
This is what I'm saying. I Love Lucy is a classic. Lucille Ball.
Is that a
Ricky Ricardo? He was the hot fiery Latino, and she was the redhead, and they were like it was like classic sitcom. Man, they're actually the first 3-camera shoot. They invented that.
really?
Yeah, Ricky Arnaz is his name, right?
Desi Arnaz.
Desi Arnaz, and Lucille Ball. They were Desi Arnaz. They started their company, and they were doing this sitcom. They actually revolutionized TV business. So they were the first ones to go, let's shoot this live with 3 cameras. Mm-hmm. And then
wow!
And he also started reruns. So like she was pregnant, and they were like, she needs a break. And they were like, just play the episode you already played. And they were like, what? We don't want to do that. And he was like, just do it. And they did it. And they got just as much ratings. And it was like, so they started that. Ugh.
What year was this in?
Oh, man, it was like the 50s, man. Yeah. It was
Oh,
old.
dang.
I was young. Like it
What
was
do you
like,
mean you were young?
yeah, I was
Wait.
even young when I wasn't even born yet when.
I was about to say you weren't born yet. I'm
Yeah.
trying to do the math. I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
I'm like,
But I'm
you're
saying-
not 70 something.
No, but I'm saying I was young to even know about that. Because like I just was watching on Hulu. They have the old Lucy episode, and there was like they had another Lucy show that came out that was like in the 60s, and I'd never seen it before. And so like I saw that and I was like, oh wow, because I was like, I wasn't even born yet. I mean, that's how it's gonna be. Like kids that are gonna come out in like 20 years, we're gonna be talking about Friends, and they're gonna be like, what? Just like that. They're gonna be like,
Office.
The Office.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, what show is that? Ew, or whatever.
Question: what do you think is going to be a show that is going to be a continuously, not only necessarily the show is going to be going on, but it's going to be still such a popular cult-like following that even in the next generation they'll be able to.
I think the shows that are already doing it, the shows that have already done it.
SpongeBob, that was the first one that came to my mind.
SpongeBob.
Dude, yes, that's one of the biggest cartoons that has traveled across
First of all,
many.
we have a completely different cartoon experience. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I wrote that down. I wrote down Rocket Power and SpongeBob as part of the things I wanted to.
Excuse me, He-Man,
Don't know.
Thundercats,
Don't know.
Robotech.
Nope.
I just, you know what I mean? My Saturday morning. So you don't even
Tom and Jerry.
Okay, yes, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, Animaniacs. Those are great. The Looney Tunes. It's like Bugs Bunny, Daffy
liked
Duck,
Looney
and all that
Tunes.
stuff.
Did you ever watch Baby Looney Tunes?
No,
Or were
I
you
didn't
too old
watch
for that at
Baby
that point?
Looney Tunes,
I watched
yeah.
Baby Looney Tunes growing up. That
No.
was cool.
Yeah, so you
I related to them because they were like,
did you watch cartoons on Saturday morning though?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that was still a thing.
for sure.
Is that still a thing now, guys? I don't even know. Is
I
that
would
still a
hope so.
thing?
I feel like it's like Fortnite on Saturday morning.
Yeah. I don't even know. Well, the thing is that you can watch cartoons whenever you want. I mean,
Yeah,
literally, when
the
I was a kid,
accessibility is crazy.
yeah, when I was a kid, like the only time you can watch cartoons was Saturday morning. The cartoons didn't come on any other time. There was no Family Guy and Simpsons. Those are shows I think that are gonna
Yeah.
keep going.
Surpass them into the
Yeah, I
next
think Family
generation.
Guy and those things are going to go. I think The Office is still going to be around. I think Friends will still be around. I think a lot of those shows that are already still around.
But you're saying, like, for instance, The Office, where even though that ended, you're saying that it's still going to be popular enough
I
to
think
make it
people
to
will
the next
still
one.
watch it, yeah.
But do you think when you're talking about Family Guy and The Simpsons and all that stuff, or did you mean they're going to keep making episodes for it?
I don't know if they're going to keep. They might keep making episodes, but even if they don't, I think it'll still be
have its
something to,
power.
I mean, it's
yeah.
20 years of.
Oh yeah,
They get 20 years of stuff. You know.
that was one of my favorite cartoons. Growing up was because of my older brothers. You know.
Oh, I never watched The Simpsons.
I wasn't a Simpsons guy. I was a Family Guy.
Yeah, because I didn't smoke weed, so I wasn't a Simpsons guy. Literally everyone I know that likes The Simpsons smokes weed.
Oh.
There's no one that, and if you, I don't, I'm a Family Guy. But
Yeah, I like Family Guy.
yeah, I like Family Guy and American Dad and all that,
Mm-hmm.
But these are like really, but these
Anything
are like,
Seth MacFarlane. I love Seth MacFarlane.
these are irreverent cartoons though.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been watching them growing up.
Yeah.
I agree that I should not have been watching them growing up. I think that also ties in though to like why I also am who I am is because I was able to watch a lot of that more mature content growing up, and I was able to then, dictate what was wrong and what was good. It's like, it's like if I was to curse as a kid, I didn't feel like it was bad if I was cursing, but I felt like it was bad if I'm cursing it when it's directed at someone. If I stub my toe as a 10-year-old and I yell out the F word, I don't think that's hurting anyone. I think that's just an expression of emotion. It's just, it's you expressing something. But if you go up to someone, you say, hey, F you,
right.
That's when it, okay, calm down, Matthew. You can't be doing that. You have to know your words. And
Did your family was like that? Because you have how many brothers and sisters? I know your sister, your brother.
I'm the youngest of 4. So I have 2 older
4.
brothers and 1 older sister. And my
2
older
older
sisters,
brothers?
yeah.
Have I met both of your brothers? Why do I always think you only have 1 older brother? Okay.
Because only one lives in California.
Oh,
with
but even
me.
still, the movie premiere and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so you're the youngest. Oh God.
So I was able to, like, man, I'm on my way to like 1st grade or 2nd grade listening to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Graduation, college dropout, late registration, all this type of stuff. And I'm now walking into the classroom feeling like I am kind of like, not that I know more than everyone here, but like there's a little chip on my shoulder of like, I just listen to that type of music and I'm not repeating it. And that to me felt good that I'm mature enough to not say these words that half of them I don't even know what Kanye's talking about.
Yeah, we still don't.
I still don't.
Yeah. Right.
So like, but to do that and like think about it too, like that was the same time I was playing Xbox Live. So I'm playing with grown adults.
Oh, what's your first video game experience? Was that you always had good video games? See, oh my God.
I had amazing video games growing up. I was so blessed.
Dude, my first video game system was, first of all, I had a Commodore 64. You don't even know what that is.
Commodore?
Yes, that's the first computer. It was a Commodore 64.
So it's not the Nintendo 64?
No. It was a Commodore 64. The keyboard was 6 feet long. You know what I mean? The keyboard fit on the desk like it was such a big keyboard. It had a monitor with only one color, green. And you had like Pong and like a fake asteroids kind of game. So that was the first, and then after that they came out with like ColecoVision and like Atari.
Okay, I've heard of
ColecoVision.
ColecoVision.
Yeah, just one
Atari.
button, and it was like that kind of stuff. And then it was like, so I see the thing is my generation. I've seen the advancement of everything. I've seen it from now we're at this thing where like you have a controller with 75 buttons on it, and I don't know where it's gonna go from there, but yeah.
I mean, it amazes me. I mean, at the end of the day, to think that just in the past 40 years, we've gone from that to where we are now, where we can have on VR goggles and do this and do that. Like, just from the conversations I had with some people in the virtual reality space, where we're going to be in the next 3 years alone, dude, they got some plans. And what's crazy, too, is that all this was already here. When you really think about it, everything all humans have created is just from other things on this earth. Like, we can't create things out of nothing. Like, this just comes down to, like
a cake mix.
Yeah, it's already all there. Like, a cake mix is like, cake mix wasn't made. It's all the ingredients, So we have all the ingredients in this planet to take us to the next step of the future. But it's so interesting how, I don't know. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like,
well, listen, I always think that my generation, if you're like 40 plus, we have seen such technological advances that it's already been mind blowing.
mm-hmm.
So you guys are already living in this age where I don't know what's going to blow your mind at this point.
Thank you. That's a great way to put it. Because, and dude, yeah,
it's going to have to be like teleportation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like, you guys are going to be like
there's a certain cap of like what is holy crap.
It has to be like, that's what I'm saying. I think teleporting is going to be the thing where you're going to be like, the kids from the future are going to look back and be like, ew.
For the first year.
You had to ride a plane? Like, but it's going to be something that like, I don't know what it is. Like what's blown, has there been any invention that has blown your mind?
The fact that not one has come to my mind is because I was already born with all these things.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and anything
little brat.
anything past that though. But I also like for me being born in '97, I've seen such like how you guys have seen technological growth. I've seen such a shift though, where the way people interact with other people is different. Like I'm seeing a lot of different shifts, not necessarily on the technological side, but on just the interaction from human to human standards.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Because, I don't want to be like the old crotchety guy, but I'm the old crotchety guy. I think that I think that your generation has does not know how to interact with human beings because they spend so much time texting and only talking to people that way. I mean, like when I say, if I look back about things that let me tell you something. I can tell you maybe 50 things that blew my mind. That's how advanced it was. Like, first of all, the cell phone was one that it was like, what? And every first conversation was like this. Guess where I'm calling you from? that was every conversation was. I didn't even think about guess that. Where I'm at. Hello. Guess what? Hold on, I got to move to another spot. Hello. Guess where I'm calling you from? And then we had to save our minutes because it was like this unlimited stuff you have. Nah, man, we had to pay. $80,000 for 700 minutes for the month.
$80,000.
I'm just saying it was expensive.
I'm like, what? $80,000 back then is like what? $500K right now.
I'm just saying it was like really expensive, man. It was like really expensive plan. So the whole point of having a cell phone back when they first came out was to never use it. Because.
But what about a car phone? I remember hearing recently about a car phone.
No, but that's the same thing. Car phone.
Was that before or after the cell phone? That was before, right?
No, it was like around the same time. They invented cell phone and then they put it in the car.
Got it.
And it used to be like with a wire. But anyway, my point is that was an invention that blew my mind. Even when you think about the phone, like we had rotary phones. So it was like when they had call waiting and three-way calling. All these things were like, what? Mm-hmm. And then the computer and the internet was like, you don't even know the world without the internet.
I do. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you do?
Okay. I was in. That's what I was about to bring up too, because I was in such a beautifully born year to the point. I don't even know if I said that right. Where I was able to grow up with no cell phone and having to call. I still remember my friend's home phone.
Yeah, man.
I remember. Good. I was about to say right now on instinct, but I'm not gonna dox him like that. You get some million calls. No, but I remember that. Be like, hey, is this person home? I want to I want to go outside and hang out with him. Oh no, he's got homework. Okay, I'll try tomorrow. Okay, bye. And I remember all that. And then it got to when I got to 6th grade, I got my first cell phone. But for my siblings, they didn't get it till they were in 8th grade or 9th grade. But as time went on, would get it. So nowadays, there's kindergartners with iPhones.
Check this out. I used to work at a school, and I remember having a fight with the dean of students at the time. We were having not a fight, but it was like a disagreement about cell phones. And there was a feeling back in the day that if you had a pager or a cell phone, you were a drug dealer. Like the only reason why you had that,
your burner phone or something.
Yeah, it was not no burner phone, just a phone.
In general.
Yeah, just in general.
Not even two, just one.
Yeah,
singular.
If you have one phone, the only people that need to have a phone back then was doctors and drug dealers. That was the thing. So I'm telling you, he's like, these kids shouldn't have phones at all in the school. And my feeling about that was always, I think that teaching people responsibility is important. So it's even if you're at a business meeting as an adult, you shouldn't have a cell phone. If you're at a business meeting right now and your cell phone's unless you're the boss, you're not going to be like, oh, just a second. You know what I mean? Yeah. So one of the things so kids just should learn that at school. It's at school, you're and that's how it is now. It's not even a big deal now. Every kid in every school across America has a cell phone.
It's a part of them.
It's a part of who they are. It's a part of their existence. It's so bananas. But it's just a different the feeling of how we incorporate all this stuff has just changed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you can't even think of something that has blown your mind. And there's so many things. So it's like, what you think it's going to be. Like, because like I said, even getting back to the other thing about like the intercommunication, like I just don't think, I think people are having trouble. Younger people have trouble talking to other human beings.
Yeah. I think if you were born after like, I'm not even going to say like if you're born after 2003 or 2004, you have more problems talking to other people than if you don't, you know.
Some people do, some people don't.
Some people do. Yeah. It's definitely a circumstantial thing, person by person, or a case by case thing. But I don't know. I think that there is a lot of things that tie into how we interact with one another. Like, am I gonna, when I go to a party, back then, if I didn't have a phone, I have to interact with someone if I'm by myself, right? Unless I want to stand there twiddling my thumbs, right? But nowadays, people take comfort in whipping out their phones, and they feel comfort in this. They throw their comfort in this if they're feeling awkward. They're eating alone. Okay, let me pull out my phone so I don't feel alone. I'm at a party alone right now because my friend just went to the bathroom or something. They'll be back in 5 minutes, but I don't want to look like I'm just kicking it here in this corner alone. Pull out my phone, act like I'm doing something. It's this weird sense of comfortability that we've all had, but also this weird attachment where we don't know how to live without it. You know, we've created this necessity of having our phones with us at 24/7, even to the point where I'm on social media where I'm like, if I don't have my phone on me for 2 or 3 hours, I'm like, oh, did I miss a beat? Or I don't even have my phone on me for the whole day. I'm like, did I miss something on the internet? That a trend that I need to jump onto or something like this? And aside from that, my main thing is I want to just always have a phone on me just so those who need to get in contact with me, if, you know, God forbid an emergency happens, they can get a hold of me. But I don't like this attachment we've created because, like you said, it does have an effect on how we talk with one another. Like,
I just feel like, you know, there's like so many things that are different from how I grew up for how you grew up. So like if I'm going to pick my friend up, okay, I have to tell my friend, hey, I'm about to leave. I'll see you at 7. So I got to get there at 7.
Yeah.
And they got to be ready at 7.
Yeah.
Because when I get there, I'm honking the horn.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, I'm here, text, whatever, or, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
MapQuest, another amazing invention, by the way.
We also want to thank our sponsor. It's called Hoobi, HOO.be. It's pretty much a new invite-only link in bio platform that we've been seeing all over social media. I've actually had it in my own bio for the past like 3 or 4 months now. So if you follow me or Gen to Gen podcast on Instagram, you can see it in our bios as well. But get ready for this. All right, guys, we have a wait list. So if you want to get on it, because it is an invite-only, I'm going to let you guys get a nice little sneak peek. It's Hoobi, HOO.be/waitlist/Matthew. That's HOO.be/waitlist/Matthew. And you can jump on a little bit early. Long story short, I really like it. It's a very customizable platform, and I put it on genuinely without them coming to me first about this. So check it out. It's really awesome. Thank you, Hoobi, for sponsoring this episode and the rest of the season.
Hoobi. So, but I know what you're saying. I think that, but you know what? That's what I mean, that we long for human interaction. We're communal creatures. We want to be around people. So I'm just saying that I think that is, you know, I don't want to be like, you know, like old crotchety guy, like I'm saying, but I just feel like there's a lack of how to interact, because that's how catfishing became a thing in the first place, is because, you know, people are just texting with each other and they think that they know this person. I've known people who've told me that they've fallen in love with someone they've never met.
Yeah.
You know, I've never met, you know, that kind of thing. Well,
Yeah.
we've been texting and we love each other. You know, it's like, okay, but you don't.
Have y'all FaceTimed?
There is nothing like being face-to-face.
Face-to-face. Oh, yeah.
There's nothing like
Nothing.
it. Even a phone call, I don't know. I've also seen another thing that was amazing is like chat rooms.
Yeah.
And then they got dark and then they closed all of them down because they just got real dirty and perverted. And then it was like, with dating apps and how to meet people, personal things, you know, those personal ads and that kind of thing, you know. So it was like Craigslist and like those kinds of things. But then again, you take anything and they turn it into something raunchy. That's what, no matter what, they're going to turn it into something raunchy. But like, so then like, because you've been on dating apps, have you met people from dating apps?
I think I've met like a friend or two from dating apps, but not anyone that I've ever actually followed through and started dating.
Oh, you've never swiped?
I did. I remember I think one of my first ever times doing that was when we were talking about the other time about that app Hot or Not.
But
that was also more or less just out of curiosity, like, what is this app even about? Because like that was just such a
your dating app is Instagram.
Yeah, it's just the
that's
internet.
that's your
Everything
dating
is,
app.
because you're putting pretty much your entire resume of yourself on the Instagram.
Well, that's
or
not
on
even
Twitter.
what I mean though. I'm just mean like, people slide into the DMs. You slide into DMs. You got that blue check with 4 million followers. So when you go, "Hey, what's up, girl?" They like, "Oh my God." Hi, Matthew. So it's like you meet people like that. I met my girl who's my fiance. I'm gonna marry. We met on Instagram. So I'm just saying, like, that's the original dating app. But I tell people all the time, if you're on Tinder or something like that, swipe and then get off of it. Like if you go, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Boom, boom, boom. Why don't we FaceTime? Here's my number.
Yeah.
You want me for coffee?"
It's a means for the end.
Like
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just do this so we could then get to this point.
See, you don't know how it was. It used to be you're at some bar or some club and you had to meet people like just, "Hey," and you start talking. So there's no dossier. Like if it would be great if you had a club or bar and you walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, can I see your file?" And then they hand you like a file. And then that's what Instagram and Facebook is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you'd be able to be like, "Okay, you went to school at, I see you. Oh, you look good in a bikini. Let me see how you."
But they do that before they even say anything to you. So that's like going up to someone saying, "File. Okay, I want to talk to you." Okay,
Right.
you know what I'm
But
saying? That's the standard of introduction. The standard of introduction has changed because we're so acclimated now to just doing it through our phone. You know what I'm saying? Like that beginning basis is happening right through our phone.
But there is a safety that I recognize that I appreciate about the internet. So all I'm saying is to combine the two would be get to know someone on the internet briefly and then get off of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't strictly use it because like this younger people, man, they're just so like even the girls, man, like especially with girls, like they how many times have you like texted it? You're like, I think guys text differently. Like if we were just sitting at a dinner table right now or whatever, we just chilling, you get a text from somebody, you go, "Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up?" We could still be boom, 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 boom. A girl, man, they get a text and then they don't.
I think it's very circumstantial.
They don't respond for like
it could be a girl who like
7
really
hours.
likes someone though and want to respond right away, or it could be someone who's I think it's more like person to person on if they want to play a game right now or not. You know what I'm saying? Because there's moments where I pick up a text, I'm like, "I'm gonna make you wait. I'm gonna make you wait a bit."
God, he's working on his hair at that moment.
Probably. But I think at the end of the day, just the fact that the standard of introductions has changed a lot, it sets you in this place where you don't know how to go up to someone necessarily because you're so used to looking the whole 5 pages of their Instagram first and then knowing
pretending you know them. No, you just pretend because you really don't know them. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
You don't know them. So there's a certain shallowness to it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, would you consider yourself shallow? Do you have like
I think there's aspects of me that can be shallow for sure.
And honest. That's why I like this kid.
For sure, man. I mean, it's hard to be in a situation where I've been doing this, internet stuff for almost a decade now. So like with a lot of that, there's a lot of ego at play, obviously, and you got to know how to like really maneuver around it. And I'm alone a lot now than I was back then. So I had too many yes men around me. Yes people, I guess I would say, because it didn't matter, men or women. I had a lot of yes people around me letting me know, "Yeah, what you're doing is cool. What you're doing is cool. What you're doing is cool." And it's just like, I look back on some of the things. I'm like, nah, it wasn't that cool. I could have been nicer in this scenario. I could have played this role out a little bit better, but at the end of the day,
but I mean, like,
it's life. You're going to do that regardless.
I mean, it is what it is. You're young. You're still young. You know, you're young. So it's like, it's like, so you were young and then all of a sudden all of these people were giving you attention.
Yeah,
they were like,
to the point where I left my own high school.
Yeah,
and moved to the city across the country that I've been wanting to be at ever since I was 5. My dad started calling me Mr. Hollywood at the age of 5, and you're telling me
he knew.
And you're telling me 10 years later, when I'm 15, I'm gonna start getting calls from that same city and being like, "Okay, we should have you out here." All this,
dude,
like that. Like I felt like Hannah Montana in that aspect because I'm traveling, doing all this thing, meeting people, and I can't go back to my school at high school and then talk to my friends about this because I would, first off, feel like I'm bragging. Second off, they would feel like I'm bragging. Third off, I don't want to come off in a condescending manner. So I'm sitting in geometry class, like knowing 48 hours ago, I just met a bunch of people who paid to meet me. And now right there, as a 15-year-old, that you gotta dude, that was difficult. That was 100%. Like I really did feel alone in that aspect because I'm not friends with anyone at that point.
Well,
It
I think your own guilt. I think your mama raised you right. Is what it is.
I appreciate.
So that's what it is. Like because you were sitting there in your own guilt, like, oh my God, I'm better than all of you, and I don't want to tell you.
Well, it's not that it's weird.
I know I'm just teasing.
You know,
but I know
what I mean.
what you mean.
I just felt like out of place for a moment, and I was also went to a private Catholic school where I'm in a uniform with everyone else, and I vividly remember this moment when I'm in geometry class and I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm wearing the same thing as everyone else. I'm learning the same thing everyone else is learning, and I don't feel like I'm a part of this community.
Right.
I feel like I'm not even a part of any community right now. I just feel like I'm on this different path right now, and that's okay. Well, like I never thought I was better than anyone. I just knew that I was on a different path. And there was a moment.
It is what it is.
In the early high school career, in my high school moment, where I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna finish up normal high school, and I realized that, and I told a friend of mine that, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna graduate with y'all. He was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I just don't think it. I don't know.
Did you go to prom?
I did actually make it to prom.
Were you prom king?
I was not prom king,
Oh,
but
that's a travesty. How are you not prom king? You didn't go on your thing and be like, I should
didn't
be
even
prom king.
I
This
didn't
is
even go to that
outrageous.
school. I didn't even go to that school when I went to prom.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
I left normal high school.
So you would have been prom king at the other school for sure.
I don't know. I would have went for it. I would have been like, hey, vote for me for prom king, but I wouldn't have put all my happiness on it. But at the end of the day, I was going to be a senior in that year, but I was doing online classes at that point because I left normal high school as a sophomore, and I'm in Dubai at this time, and I'm hitting
that
up
everybody. That doesn't even sound like. I'm a senior in high school, but I'm in Dubai.
No, but this is what happened. I was actually in Dubai at this point, and I'm texting all my friends from high school. I'm like, yo, I want to go to prom. Like that was my one thing. If I'm not going to graduate with you, I want to figure out how to go to prom with you guys. I already missed junior year with you guys. I'm missing senior year, all this stuff. How do I go to prom? I was like, are there any girls in the grade right now who don't have a date yet? I'd love to ask if they can go because I can't just show up. I need to go with someone from the school. And they're all like, yeah.
Oh, so they sent you the 10 hottest chicks in the school?
No, what had happened was I'm kind of, listen. There was, my friend said, oh, and I'm kind of putting them on blast right now, but my friend Drake and Kelly, they had just broken up, right? And
you went with Kelly?
No, listen.
Wow, you're a monster.
Don't jump the plot. Don't jump the plot. We're on act 2
But you always liked Kelly, though.
No, Kelly was just a homegirl. She was just a homie, you know? And then they all said Drake doesn't have a date right now. I was like, yo, I hit up Drake. I was like, Drake, come on. And he was like, all right, let's do it. So my boy,
so you went with Drake to prom?
My boy Drake took me to prom. And bro, there's photos of everyone like, holding each other, and Drake is like holding me. Like,
you are who you are now.
Yeah.
All right. But you're saying that there was a time when the fame and fortune, you had a little monster phase.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Where I didn't know how to understand it all, man, because I wanted this. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know I would get it the way I got it. Because I knew I wanted to be an actor. I knew I wanted to be in Hollywood making films and all this stuff. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And then the way it was happening, getting the followers and then going to travel to this city on the weekend to meet all your fans and then going back home to be in class from Monday to Thursday and then to leave early on Friday. Like, there was a monster inside me growing for sure by the time I got to LA where I wasn't even really focused on film that much. I was just like wanting to grow up. I wanted to just have fun. I wanted to just experience LA. And I remember one of the first weeks I got there, I was with my boy Boogie. My boy Boogie, he's awesome. He actually played, I think his name is Tebow in iCarly. The donut guy with the stick. If you've seen iCarly, you would know. You'd know.
You think I know what iCarly is?
You don't know what iCarly is?
No, I've heard of that, but I don't know. I've never watched it.
It was just a big show, and I met him before I moved to Los Angeles, and he told me when we were driving around in Los Angeles, he was like, he saw me looking around. I'm just like, wow, like I'm just taking it all in. And he stopped the car. He said, you know that feeling right there, right there, right there, right there. Like he kept on saying right there. I was like, what? He was like, this feeling you have right now of curiosity. Don't lose that feeling, because the moment you do and you get comfortable, you're done in this city. You're done in this city. And I'm like,
ooh, that's true.
And I got goosebumps right there, and I'll never forget him saying that, because whenever I'm in a moment where I'm like getting comfortable, I'm like, okay, I gotta figure something else out, because I shouldn't be getting comfortable right now. And yeah, man, there was a monster where I knew a lot of the people around me weren't actually my friends,
Right.
and this is
But
why
I'm just saying
alone
you were
a lot.
just, there's
But I'm going through
there's probably
life.
50 girls in your DMs,
But
and
I'm
you're
going
like,
through, that'd be like
"You
me being
special
in
girl."
college, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
age where
yeah.
I'd be in college doing all this, learning about myself anyway. So I looked at my first few years in LA as kind of like my college years anyways, you know, where I'm still figuring out. I just turned 24. So at the end of the day, I still don't know anything, you know? And I love
Don't
that,
I
though.
know it, huh?
But I love the fact that I don't know anything, because that means there's a lot to learn.
Nah, you're just like an old soul. You know what I like about you is you make very deliberate choices even when I don't agree with them. You know? Can I give you an example?
Give me one.
Okay, so your movie. So he made the choice in his movie to not kiss the girl.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. But do you know why?
Well, excuse me. Can I? Let me set this up.
Proceed.
So I see the movie and I'm like, it's not really a love story, but it sort of could be a love story. And there is a moment where you think, no, he should kiss this girl. You're acting. You're being it's not Matthew Espinosa in the movie. You were whatever the person was. Jordan J. You should have kissed the girl. But I talked to you about it and you were like, well, you had a thought. You know, and then when I saw the movie, and I was like, you know, this is the thing I appreciate about you is like you made a lot of deliberate choices. Like, I want this, I want that, and you made that choice. And you were like, you stuck by it, and I'm sure everybody was like, you're not gonna kiss the girl.
It was written in the script where I'm supposed to kiss Emily.
You should have kissed her.
You know, but at the end of the day, for me, and I know they weren't happy with this, I have a long career. I have a long acting career. I'm mentally preparing for a 60, 70, 80-year-long acting career. I ain't giving out my marbles on the first scene, on the first episode, the first movie, the first thing.
Dude.
I know, but
you still feel this way? You can sit here and defend
kinda
this?
yes, kind of no, but at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe if I did do the kissing scene, I would have booked this next role, but I don't think there was going to, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. Forget about what it was going to lead to. Mm-hmm. It's just about that moment. To
I know.
me, it would have been a more genuine experience. Would have been, you would have kissed her.
Yeah. But also, the thing is, too, is that, like I said, like, I don't curse on social media. I try not to do anything. I try to be as clean as possible. And there's certain aspects of me that I'm waiting to be shown in film, you know, and kissing was one of them. You could go online all day. You could go online all day. And I've had this vision for so long. You could go online right now and type in Matthew Espinosa kissing, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to find anything. Ever. Okay, in a million years. If you find a photo or a video of me kissing someone else on the lips, I'll figure out a way.
There's something out there.
I'll do something. No, there's photos of me kissing a girl on the cheek or something like that, but nothing where I'm like in a full, because I'm specifically waiting for that moment where in a scene in a film, because then people are like, oh, what was that thing where Matthew was kissing? I got to go see that movie.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. You have a thought process about it, and I appreciate the thought process, even though I don't agree with it.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But I think that attitude, that preparation, that feeling you have towards it and planning towards it is like what has made you successful. So, you know, it's like, you know, the lesson out here is just like, you don't need people to agree with you. You need to just do what you want to do and then make the choice and live with the choice. Yeah. You live with your choice.
I live my choice regardless of what, even if I want to hit up the entire production, could be like, we should have done the kiss. Even on the same day of that scene, you know what I'm saying? They were like, Matthew, I know you took it out, but we could always put it back in and do a shot of you guys kissing. I'm like, nah, because you guys will use it.
No,
if we did with a kiss, you guys would use it. But the thing is, like I said, like I'm so grateful for that entire production. I love everyone on that entire team. It was a very good collaborative effort, and like I was just grateful to do the film regardless.
Yeah.
So I did feel at certain times where I shouldn't have been so controlling, but I have my vision. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like
kind of who you are.
But like for instance, maybe it wasn't the best idea to take out the kiss, but it was the best idea I could have had to take out any potential social media person in it. Even though I was from social media, I had also been studying acting in Virginia. I'd been doing plays since 5th grade, literally taking acting classes because this is what I want to do. My next plan after college was to go to New York and try to get on Broadway to then go to LA. So like, I'm like, okay, I'm now at this meeting with all these people who are like asking who we should cast. And I'm like, no, put me with actors. I want to be an actor. You know, so I didn't hate on any of the social media kids. They're all my boys. They're all my girls. I love them all.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of hate. There's a little bit of shade there. There's a little bit of shade.
It's not shade. It's just the simple fact.
You weren't in Logan's movie.
They're two different industries. Yeah. But the thing is, they're two different.
I was.
They're two different. I know. But the thing is, they're two different industries. Social media and film are two different industries. We know a lot about film. We don't know enough about social media. We know who
we know more now.
yes, but it's still so early on, and I've mentioned this before, where like we know who the Drakes are of music, we know who the Eminems are of music, we know who the Christopher Nolans and the James Camerons and the Leonardo DiCaprios of acting and film world. What about social media? It's so new that it's hard to have a long game in social media because of everything changing. Film is based on art. It's based on the actual film alone. It's based on the storytelling and all that. There's a means of measurement when it comes to that, like what is to make a good film. There's a measurement. Same thing with music. Same thing with actual like painting, other art. You know what I'm saying? With social media comes down to whatever app is popping that 5-year era. You know what I'm saying? In 5 years, Instagram could potentially not even be here. TikTok could not even be here. And that means the ways social media, one of the only ways social media has been consistent is Twitter. That's one of the only forms of communication that has stayed the same. But overall, when it comes to content, the way we bring in content into us, it's changing rapidly.
Well, that's, I don't know. I feel like social media is exactly what it is. It's just media. It's just a different way to reach people. I don't think there's inherently art in that,
Yeah.
Because I feel like the movies
agreeing.
use social media, But the thing is, at the same time, though, it's monetizing fame. It's like because that was one of the questions I wanted to ask about. Since this is gen to gen, we're doing two different things. It's like, I like watching movies. I like watching movies. I like watching stuff on a big TV.
That's how you spend your time.
That's how I spend my time. I want to see movies in a big TV. But recently, now it's like, I find myself watching things on my iPad now. And it's like, but your generation is all about like watching, 1 minute on your phone of somebody doing something or 15 seconds. And then that turns into millions of followers and fans. What is that?
I mean, it just comes down to, like I said, how there's such two different industries. You look at Vine, that really started this fast-paced content where, like, if you don't... The fact that there's 6 seconds in a Vine and people wouldn't even be able to get through a whole Vine before they're like, I'm over this one already. That right there is scary. But you're not going to do that in a movie. You're not going to watch literally 2 seconds of a movie like, I'm over this. You'll give it at least 10 to 15 minutes. It's a ratio standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me... I guess it's the content we're
how do you watch?
to.
How do you watch stuff?
I'll never watch a movie on phone ever, and I would rather just stare at grass growing. I would never watch a movie on the phone. It's disrespectful to the people who made the film. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't care unless that's the only way I can do it, and I'm literally so bored.
Like you're on a plane or something like that. Yeah.
But the smallest screen I would watch on is either like the plane screens or like the iPad screen, just because I want to be involved in it. And that's just the film. That's the actor in me. And that's just me being biased because I love film so much. I watch multiple films a week. Like, I just love it.
But could you somehow explain to me how, like, what was the first thing you did that you would say went viral?
On Vine?
Yeah. Was it like something like, what was the thing that, like, you posted this and this, and the next thing you know, you had 1 million followers?
It was a remake of a Vine, and I don't even know if a lot of people know that.
So what I'm saying is, what is that? Is it because, listen, let me just put it out to you, because I'm trying to figure it out. I can't figure it out. Mm-hmm. People from my ilk and my generation, I'm a traditional stand-up comedian. I got to go to clubs. I got to go to, like, to try to get fans. I had to be funny. Then this new era of thing comes on, and these people who are just like doing whatever the hell that is that they're doing, and all of a sudden they have like all these fans and followers. What is it? Is it because you're cute? Is it funny? Is it what is it?
I'm honest enough with myself to know that some of my people who follow me, my fans, might just like me only for my looks. Some of them might like me for my comedy. Some might like me for both. I'm honest with myself enough to say that, and people might be like, "Oh, he's cooking." No, I'm just aware. You know what I'm saying? Also, off comments, it is what it is. It's just the day and age we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I can maybe, for instance, Justin Bieber is a prime example where he was standing or sitting on a staircase, like playing guitar. That got on YouTube. Right, and that's where Scooter Braun. So I feel like that's a good example.
Completely different, though. That is completely different because.
Well, I think it's about accessibility because someone would have had to go to that staircase to see him. That's the whole point. It's just the accessibility.
Listen, I get the accessibility, but Justin Bieber's a totally different animal. We've both been around him.
Yeah,
he got that thing.
Yeah,
got
he
that
definitely
thing.
has a
He got
thing.
that thing, that Tom Cruise, Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a, I was
It's the X Factor.
there's
It's
a
the
thing
X
about
factor,
him.
yeah.
Like if he was in a room and he started walking over there, everybody in the room would find themselves gravitating that way. He's got that thing. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay. So I guess
that's completely
I guess
different.
to answer your question, it really just comes down to like the right content in the right time in the right place. For me,
Now this is what we should be reaching out to our new fans for. I would like people that are 25 and under, if you could verbalize it, if you could communicate to me and people of my ilk and my age range, explain to me what it is that you like about whoever, whatever the TikTok, the Vine, the Instagram person that you go, I have to follow this person. What is it? Like, what is that thing?
I mean, everyone has their different thing. Some people will do cooking videos. Some people do things. Everyone. It's just you can find anything you want on the internet, and I think that beauty of it. Like maybe I 20% like cooking videos, but I also 40% like funny videos, but I also like 20% like self-help videos. And then 20% I like fitness videos. And that's going to be what algorithm is throwing me.
But when did you figure out what your audience liked about you? Because there's obviously something that
trial and error on videos for sure.
So like now, if I post this, if I set, exactly what your audience wants.
Yeah, I could upload something and let you know how many likes I think it'll get or comments or shares, and I'm usually kind of around on point. And that's just because of just years of understanding my audience and all that.
That's the thing I can't figure out.
Well,
sometimes I'll post something and then I'll get like a lot of, and I'll be like, what happened? What? I don't get what it is. Sometimes
it is random.
So
it's
the thing that I think is going to be funny, I think I'm going to get a response for nothing.
I mean, but that's just life in general. That's when life comes in at play and is like, this has happened in general when there's been a director who brought in this actor and this actor and this actor and this producer and this writer, and it's like literally the A team, and the movie flopped. It's like, no, we did everything we could do to make this
right. Why didn't it click?
Why didn't it click? And that's just life. Maybe it was the wrong time to upload that or to put out that film. Maybe it was the wrong time to maybe upload because Instagram is like, no, we don't want you posting at this early on this day. Like, there's so many variables.
Well, you
that come into
figured out
play.
all that stuff too, though.
But it's always ever changing. So for me, like, there was even a long time where I didn't even really post on the internet. Like, there'd be, if you really go back on even just in this past year, there'd be months that would go by where I didn't even post on Instagram because I've been doing it for so long that like it becomes this suffocating feeling of of expectations and jobs and all this stuff, because I got into it because I liked making people laugh. I would go to school in middle school, elementary school. My mom, when she'd come and pick me up, she'd be like, "How was your day?" I said, "It was good. I made 5 people laugh today." That was my means of measure. That was how I measured how my day was based on how many people I could make laugh. I would count. So when the internet came out and I'm like, I can make videos and put this out to anyone. I was already doing random YouTube videos in 4th grade, 5th grade, all that type of stuff with my brother. And I made a Vine that was a remake because I thought it was also funny. Shout out to Alex Holte. I appreciate your Vine remake because that's what got me where I'm at right now. So,
really?
Yeah, Alex Holte. I'll never forget that name. And a kid named Liam Finlay. Liam Finlay was a kid who owned Best Vines on Twitter and had 500,000 followers.
Right.
And I randomly messaged him one day. I was like, "Hey, I like making people laugh. Like, check out my Vines someday if you're ever bored." And then one day, I'm just chilling, doing science homework.
Right.
And I get a text from my friend. "Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I get another text. Dude, this is so dope. Congrats, man." I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then like, check Twitter, check Vine. I'm like, okay. And I go and I see I have like 2,000 new followers. And back then you're like,
yeah, 2,000.
You're
Yeah.
like,
What?
I only have 100 people following me. And
Yeah.
that took years because these are all people I know.
Yeah.
So I'm all these people on Twitter now. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And next thing I know, that's when I realized I was like, oh wow, this.
And then, like, see, the thing about you that is great is, like, you instantly, like, that happened, and you didn't, like, go, oh, my God, what am I going to do? Your brain, your old man brain, already was like, okay, we got this. Here we go.
No, I'm not
Here we
even
go.
kidding. I've said this in interviews. I've said this in meetings. I've said this in so many things. When people get into this position where they fall into this seat of millions of followers, or not even millions, just tens of thousands, 100,000, they're like, what do I want to do? Do I want to act? Do I want to dance? Do I want to draw? Do I want to paint? Do I want to do this, that? I want to be an astrophysicist, singer, songwriter, all this stuff. Like, I don't mind when people want to try everything.
Right.
It's fine. But like for me, I get into this seat and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I like this. But how do we get to acting now? How do we make a movie now? How do we do this? So like I said, I was getting offered all these films right away when all this stuff started happening. And I'm like, no. I want to be only with actors. I want to only be with actors. So like you said, like I'm getting in the seat. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
You know, I think are you in a weird like you? I guess you feel do you feel typecasted?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell that you're like struggling with this thing of being like, yeah, I have all this fame. I have like a bunch of people that like me, but do they like me in this?
Yeah, and
you know, you're trying to figure out how to do that, huh? Is it frustrating?
Yes and no, because at the end of the day, regardless, I understand how much of a long game acting and film is. You know, it's not like music where I can just keep on making music. If it hits, it hits. You know, I can't just go to my I've said this example before, how this musician can go to this person's studio, make a bunch of songs, and then come out making 5 Grammy hits. You know, I can't go to my friend's studio in his garage or her garage and make an Oscar-nominated film. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through. There's still a lot of games you got to play to get to this point in acting, and I know it's a long game.
Well, okay,
you know?
But let's talk about this then, because there was a time, because like you say, social media is ever changing, it's growing fast.
Yeah.
And I can see that, and it's also the attitude towards it, the people that are in it has changed too, because I feel like a lot of the guys that were doing this, like when I met them, like I met you and Nash Greer, and I met, what's that one kid who had the YouTube show, real, you know, handsome white kid, and he had his own YouTube, young dude, whatever his name is, but they were all there at that thing at this around Bieber, you know what I mean? They were all like, and their whole thing was like, you know, wanting to be legitimized by Hollywood. You know, I remember even Nash hitting me up on. I never forget this, dude. He tweeted at me, "Check your DMs," because he sent me a DM to be like, "Hey, I want you to be in some videos, right?" And one of his fans said, "Dude, you should be checking your DMs," you know? And I understood immediately what they were talking about. I knew it, because they were like, "Dude, we're 10 million strong following you. Who's that guy with, you know, 50,000 followers? Who cares? You know, who cares?" But I knew to him, it was about, this the workaholics guy in Hollywood, and then that has changed. That has completely changed. Like, you know, because I don't think you guys, I'm kind of putting you in with them, even though you were different.
Feel free.
You know what I mean? You know, was like, yeah, we want to be on TV and that kind of stuff. But there's more money in what you do than Hollywood.
Yeah.
I had Amanda Cerny on. We should get her on this too. She'll do it. Amanda on my podcast, and you know,
I did her podcast
Griffin.
Griffin with Griffin.
She was telling me how like she was on a show. She was so, you know, trying to act, you know, she's on this show, and then she saw that she got more followers for her videos than the show got viewers.
Yeah.
And then there was a moment where I think that she decided, what am I trying to be in Hollywood stuff for?
Yeah.
I can do my own thing. She got 25 million followers. Now she got fitness and all this kind of stuff, and it's just moved on. Even Logan Paul, he made that terrible movie that I was in, okay? Like, so bad. You know what I mean? And now he's like,
I personally haven't seen it, so I can't.
I can speak on it. Okay, so I was on this podcast and told him it was a terrible movie. But anyway, the point is, I know now he don't care about movies.
Yeah,
he's like, what am I care about movies for? He's got a very successful podcast.
Yeah, he's killing it.
And now he's moved that into, like, you know, the boxing with his brother.
Stuff. Yeah, but this comes down, everything you're talking about right now, it comes down to what is your goal. That is your goal.
Well, your goals change, though, depending on.
My goal for me is to be an actor and a filmmaker and a storyteller.
Okay,
you know, and
well, you did that though. You made a movie,
but I ain't done yet. That's not even a fraction of what I know I'm gonna do. You know, so for me, if my goal was money, if my goal was followers or fame, I wouldn't even. I'm on YouTube every day. I'm on this every day. I know how to gain those followers if I need to. And I did that in the beginning realm of my life on the internet. But now I'm kind of in this mode where it's like, yeah, you can get 100 million followers in 1 year for sure. That's proof of concept has been created now. TikTok, multiple people have gotten more than 100 million in 1 year. That didn't happen 5 years ago. That didn't happen 10 years ago. That didn't even happen 3 years ago. So for how fast that is, like, to gain followers and to, like, that, it's overwhelming sometimes. And, like, if you don't know how to maneuver around it, then, yeah, like I said, people are going to be like, do I want to act? Do I want to do this? Do I singer-songwriter? I'm going to make a movie and do all this. For me, like, I already sat back and I'm like, how do we get now to this point? Followers don't mean respect. That's the
well, that's the thing too, for sure. But I will say this though, that this is what I'm saying. While social media is not the same as like TV, film, and all that stuff, it's a different. It's a tool.
Anyone can use it. That's
a
why.
tool. But it's a tool that people like. One thing I'll say for the Paul brothers, everyone in boxing needs to look at them and be like, oh, I need to get a social media following.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to like put my boxing videos up. I need to like engage with my fans.
Yeah.
This old thinking of that, all you need to do is be talented. And then
well, now you're a marketer. You got to be talented and a marketer.
This is what I'm saying. And that's where like people in my era have had trouble with.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I just have trouble with. I don't know when to tweet, what videos to play, it's just the thing that's so beyond me that when I see people doing that now, it's like, it's like Jake Paul, man, he is showing them the way. And if any of these fighters were smart, they would be like, oh, I need to do this because that leads to still being able to do what you love, which is fight, but also make it grand and make it like, because that's where the world is going.
Mm-hmm.
So even like actors and like, they're now people are starting podcasts.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is all part of this podcasting. It's all part of social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but the thing is that end keeps changing, and in like the finish line, people can't figure out what that finish line is. So for you, you're like solely focused on, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor.
And I might get to that point where I'm getting my first Oscar, and I'm like,
his first, he said.
Manifestation, baby. Speak what you want, get what you get. So I might be out.
Our first T-shirt.
Yeah.
Speak what you want, get what you get.
Gen
to gen.
But that's when this is. I was watching a J. Cole interview. He was like, I thought all the accolades, the fame, the money, people saying, "Oh, you are the best." I thought that would put me in this position where I'm feeling happy and fulfilled. But when he got all that, he said he didn't feel all that. And like for me, I grew up always wanting people to like laugh at me. I grew up wanting to be the guy in the classroom who, if someone's having a bad day, how do I make your day better? That was my goal, right? So I always, and this is kind of what Jim Carrey said, like I just want to free people of concern. I want to just, if someone's having a bad day, how do I make that better? And I don't know. It's just the simple fact of really understanding that this is such a long life, but it's quick too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So quick.
It's quick and it's long. So like, I want to make sure whatever I'm doing, I have deliverance in it. I don't even know if that was the right term, but
it sounds like a movie, Deliverance.
Deliverance. Is that even a word?
He wouldn't even get that reference. So, yeah, this is an old school movie called Deliverance. You don't even want to know what was going on in it.
Okay,
Squeal like a pig. No, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Speaking of going long, how much time we been?
We're exactly an hour. Look at you. You are so good. We're an hour and 14.
Listen, guys, we're going to do many of these and, talk about it. Like, this was like a kind of Matthew-centric episode.
Yeah, we talked a lot about me.
Yeah, it's okay. You like it. Look at that. Look at his face. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, because I'm still learning. The whole thing is like there'll be things that, I'll be saying things that he'll learn some things. But I'm still learning about this right now. And, like, this guy's a wealth of information about this kind of stuff. But, we'll be here every week for the first season. I don't know how long and many episodes that is. But, I hope you guys enjoyed this talk. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, too.
Yeah.
Well, before we close out fully, I want to jump back 1 minute to what was your final question when you were asking me? I want to answer that fully.
Well, it's just like I don't even know. It's because it's so layered. There's so many things. It's like, it's like how are you going to like.
So we're talking about like marketing and all that stuff, and like
it's like
boxing and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the
means for an end.
What I'm saying is like these people are now using people should use social media to advance whatever it is they're doing, and it could be in any profession.
Yeah,
cooking, boxing. Even basketball players now, man, are coming into the NBA. Like Zion Williams, I was already following him.
I was already
when he was in high school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he had 2 million followers going into the NBA.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that what we're talking about is like what we're using that for. So are you gonna do you feel like, is there a part of you that feels like I'm not using this, or you're
like typecasted kind of how you're talking about?
Yeah, like how? Yeah, because like how? Yeah,
it's difficult because like I said, like I wasn't on social media for a long time. I'm in this weird middle ground, and I don't even. This is more or less for myself, but I'll say it out loud. I'm in a weird middle ground where I understand that now the times are changing and like people are booking roles literally for their following. And I'm not going to sit back and say I didn't book the Be Somebody role because I had followers. I know I got that role because of the amount of followers I had.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, like it just comes down to, like I said, your goals. You know what I'm saying? Like if my goal, like I said, was money, then I would just, I would make that movie. Then I would do this and I would do that. Like I've turned down every reality TV show I've ever been offered. And that's been a lot of money that I've been offered up, to do all that. It's just difficult because I'm trying not to post too much on the internet where people know me just for the internet. But I also don't want to not post where I'm now
not relevant.
I'm not even relevant.
Okay, and I remember my question too about this is like, do you feel like then, like, because what is it that people say, it'll be like maybe people only want to see you for a minute.
But I hate the word relevant.
Well, but relevant just means, relevant doesn't have to have a negative connotation. It just means like there's so much stuff going on. Mm-hmm. How do people remember you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things to remember. There's so many people.
I think it's about not caring. And that's what I was going to say when you're talking about like, what do I tweet? When do I tweet it? How do I tweet it? It's about not caring. And that's what I've really started to understand is don't put so much on what we do on the internet. This is for everyone out there right now.
Oh, there it is.
Don't put so much of what you do, like that care into it. Like you like this photo that you took? Dope. I'm happy you like that photo. Now upload it, walk away. Put your phone down, walk away. Because if you sit there and you're like, yes, 10,000 likes, 20,000, yes, this many comments. Oh my God, this person, you posted it for them now. And that's fine if you want to post for your fans, all that. But then it gets to this point of expectation. Expectation is a slippery slope. Because you'll do that again the next week, and you might not get the same what you got this week. But at the same time, though, and you've
monetized this. This is your business, though.
It's your business, exactly. But
when it's your business, you have to worry about it.
But you also want peace of mind too. If like I said, if you already have a roof over your head and food on your plate, and you're fine and you're comfortable in that aspect financially, then make sure your peace of mind also is.
Okay, well, that's different.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if people,
I can agree with that.
So a lot of people like how there's ways, to play football and there's ways to do this. There's no rule book on social media. Yeah. There is no rule book on because it's ever so changing, and that's something like I've always thought about. Like, how is there no rule book on social media? There's rules we gotta live by when we go to school. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. There should be a rule on social media of like, hey, if you're gonna be on this, don't compare yourself to other people. Understand, like if people edit a photo and make their face look a certain way, or that should be a thing. Like this photo was edited. I wish there was just more transparency on the internet. Oh. And like for me, like if you look at a lot of my Instagrams, like it's very raw. My stuff is very raw. Like I don't like.
Yeah, different. You're also a guy.
But even like
you're also a guy. There's a different expectation of beauty when it comes to like the female.
But the accessibility for beauty is still is even more attainable because back then we would have to go to see a magazine and be like, and maybe compare ourselves to that person. But nowadays, in 2 seconds, I can mess with my self-esteem.
Oh, I totally agree with what you're saying. Let's end on this.
If I don't know how to do it.
Let's end on this and we can talk about this next week because this is something.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in this for next week.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what it is. In my day, everyone blamed Hollywood magazines for beauty expectations. Mm-hmm. Okay, they were like, oh, these magazines are making girls feel like, who's doing it now? You are.
Yeah.
Don't blame Hollywood anymore.
And the followers too, because now we're in a state where we're going into these classrooms and people have these glasses on where they're looking at all their classmates and they just see numbers above their head of this many followers, this many followers, this many followers, this many followers. You know what I'm saying? Like back then we didn't have to do that. It wasn't like that. It's just like this person made me laugh. This person doesn't make me laugh. I'm gonna hang out with this person or something like that.
Well, in a perfect world, we would just want it to be about laughter and like having fun. Yeah. But it's but once they monetized it, once you put money involved, then it becomes a business, and then it becomes expectations are important.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is Erik Griffin,
Matthew Espinosa.
This has been Gen to Gen.